recognized time and again the importance of the media industry in the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. Your work is absolutely crucial, from raising awareness on the SDGs to demonstrating their impact, and from addressing disinformation around the goals to including them in your corporate initiatives. Our dedicated SDG Media Compact brings together close to 400 media organizations that drive forward advocacy and action on the SDGs. Together with many others in the room, MIP TV participants in this initiative, helping deliver sustainable development for all. And I am therefore delighted to join virtually this 5th edition of the MIP SDG Awards and celebrate the outlets and content producers that work tirelessly to promote the SDGs. My very special thanks to MIP TV and Lucy Smith for providing this forum. This year's edition of the awards received 79 entries, a testament to the audiovisual industry's commitment to reforming business practices and content for sustainability. Today, we congratulate Ubongo, the recipient of this year's MIP SDG Award. The company creates fun, localized, and multi-platform educational media that reach millions of children across Africa through accessible technologies. With 250 million children and youth out of school globally, it is more urgent than ever to ensure every child has access to education, and Ubongo has established itself as a key actor in that effort. We also honor Open Planet with the MIP SDG Innovation Award, celebrating their open source project that provides free audiovisual content on the environment, biodiversity, and the planet. We are delighted that this project, which was announced at last year's SDG Media Zone during the UN General Assembly, has come to fruition. We are excited to see how it will enable independent producers and associations to tell their own stories in their own language, ensuring inclusivity and diversity in storytelling. Allow me to take this opportunity to urge all of you to continue to scale up your sustainable development initiatives, to innovate on and off screen for the SDGs, and to create content that will drive awareness of the SDGs in your audiences and beyond. I will now hand it over to Caroline Petit, Deputy Director of the United Nations Regional Information Center for Europe, to present the awards to this year's winners. Congratulations.
Good morning to all. Wonderful message there from Melissa Fleming. So receiving the MIP SDG Award on behalf of Ubongo is Moazi Wilmore, CEO, who will be winning conversation with afterwards. There'll be a lovely fireside chat here with Jeff Shawn, who is the CEO of the Akili Broadcast Network and who is an international kids TV expert. But first, let's see Ubongo's work in this short film.
Going from village to village, sharing our content. And it's phenomenal, but not scalable, right? So what we do is that we work with different partners who share the same vision and passion and understanding of education, and they help us disseminate the information to the last mile. And we're always looking for more.
Obviously, impact is really important to you. How are you measuring? What are some of the studies that you've done to measure the impact of the different programs around?
So, impact can be in so many different ways, but I think what sets Ubongo's impact apart is kind of like the way that we designed the show. So, in order to get the kids' voice, we use a human-centered design, right? In order to ensure that we're able to do profound impact, we do a lot of internal and external validation, right? And the reason why we're including kids in the process is not just so their voices can be heard, but it's also an aspect of which we can include representation and inclusion. As I mentioned before, there's so many different diverse backgrounds. So we get kids in rural, urban, refugee camps, are all included part of that process. we also look at kids who are differently abled. So we have kids who may be deaf, they may be blind, neurotypical, neurodiverse, they're part of that ACD process. And of course we go all over Africa to do this so that we can capture that rich context. And in addition to that, we also do the evaluations. So with this, we're trying to understand what format is working, how do we get the learning outcomes, and then based on that, we now replicate it throughout our episode. In addition to that, we also do in-depth evaluations, right? So an example is the one that we're doing in Kenya with the Busara Center. And the main purpose of this is to really understand what are the components of our shows that make it magical.
I'm just smiling because the ask from Bongo was, we don't want you to promote the show because we need some people who haven't seen it and some people who have, so they could do A and B measurement of the research results. So I love that. Just thinking about the economics, although it's a lot cheaper to produce an animated series in Africa, it's still quite expensive.
Yes.
You've done multiple programs in different series. How are you managing the economics of the business for Bongo?
Yeah. So borrowing from Nelson Mandela, he said that education is the most powerful weapon that you can use to make the world change. 93% of our funding comes from philanthropic funds. So these are foundations, corporations, individuals who are able to understand the impact that education can bring. The remaining 7% is earned revenue, which is coming from mainly YouTube views. So it's the kids who love our show. So we're actually funded by you. That is how we've gotten here today.